Hi, welcome to Teensy Vintage. This is my first art video. We're going to make something fabulous with these very hunky dudes at the gym from the early 20th century. Doing some fussy cutting here. Get out my tiny scissors for some details around this guy's head. He's very special. And then we're going to get all the edges cut off. All right, now everybody looks good. So we're gonna figure out where this will go and start to make a background. Get some inks out, pick my color palette, which I've decided is gonna be blue and yellow. We're using the Distress Oxide inks in Uncharted Mariner, Mustard Seed, and Fossilized Amber. And I am making this doily that I got with my lunch, blue. We had lunch at Colleen's in Austin, Texas. It was amazing. So now I'm just taking a bunch of bits and bobs, receipts, some gel press prints, tearing them and just putting them on there, evening them out. Crossword puzzle page. Oh, and I turned the light on because it was a little dark. Getting some good texture with some collage here. Bring my guys back, start to kind of figure out where they're going to go. We're going to glue that doily down. And I got another piece of paper to do that since doilies are full of holes. I'm using a Scotch glue stick. Now I'm marking my places with pencils so that I can glue things down so they'll be in the right spot when I want to go back and glue my focal point down. It needs a little bit more. I love the disappearing glue. It really helps. I know that the purple stuff is still wet, and when it dries, it's clear. I'm going to get some more yellow. Now this is Deli Paper that I did that I used my gel plate to make a print with. Just adds a little more interest to the back of the page and a little bit more as well. The Deli Paper is really nice. It's very light and transparent. Adds some really bright colors. Now we're going to do some stamping. This is a Viva Las Vegas stamp, some numbers, just to kind of fill in the white spots. We're going to use FolkArt Daffodil Yellow. We're going to move some more color around our space here. And now we're going to glue down the fellas. I love these guys. They're all wearing matching outfits. They're all so tough, especially Mr. Mutton Chops there in the middle. Love him. Got my Stabilo Woody and activating that with a little bit of water just to give it a little more oomph. And again, to kind of tie it together. Now we've got a blue Stabilo Marksol pen. Those pencils are amazing. And now I'm just adding some more color to the far side of the page just to kind of balance things. Activating that with some water. Just some lines. Real nice and easy. Nothing too crazy. Drawing my paper. Now we're going to put a little bit of gesso here and there just to kind of blend everything together and to kind of push back some of the bright color. Because remember, we want the dudes to be our focal point. So I'm going to cover up some of the color, and I'm definitely going to cover up some of those really black spots from that crossword image. kind of soften the lines, make sure everything's nice and dry. And now we're going to go back with more ink, and I'm using a cosmetic wedge to apply some watered down ink just to bring out more yellows. I've got a whole bunch of yellows going on. And I decided each guy's going to have his own color. So I'm going in on mutton chops here with some blue and activating the stripes with water. The tall guy gets orange. It's another Stabilo Marksall. And it just really brings some visual interest and differentiates the guys from one another. There's some yellow. I started using a Stabilo Woody, but I don't know. I ended up going back to the regular pencil. The texture just wasn't right. So now we're going to go to this guy, and I think his color was green. Yeah. As you'll see in the pictures at the end of the video, the colors really pop. And last but not least, Mr. Tough Guy over here on the left, he gets black. And then I use a tiny bit of black, what's left over, to give a little bit of definition to some of the other guys. Just a tiny bit of detail. Gonna add in some more yellow now, just to tie it in even more. Just layers on layers. Make sure everything's nice and dry. We've got all those water activated pencils on there. We want to make sure they're dry before going on. I'm going to use some Archival ink to add some more numbers. This is another number stamp from Viva Las Vegas. Adding even more texture and interest. And now I'm just going in with my finger with a little more white gesso. I started using a texture comb here, but it didn't really do anything, so I ended up just kind of mushing it with my finger. Now we're going to do a little bit of outlining just to bring even more definition. And now we've got some Distress Paint, also an Uncharted Mariner. I love this color so much. What I'm doing now is just kind of darkening the background even more, just to really make the focal point stand out. And I'm flipping through some sentiments here. I really want to put something in that yellow field on the right, but none of these stickers are really speaking to me today. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to make my own. Get out some scrap paper and some letter stamps. And good old Archival ink. Of course, I kind of messed up the H there, so I just flipped it over and started again. I'm just going to do the boys. Why not? And we'll tear that up. We're going to darken the edges with some black ink just to give it some more definition, and then glue it down. There they are. Smooth it down, make sure there's no air bubbles, sign it and date it. And that's it, friends. Here's the finished product.